Try not to take too much.
No, I know what you mean. But sometimes, yeah, you do. I try and wait till the end of the day so it helps me sleep. I have to say, so far, having been, so far hasn't been that bad, but I've had some moments that I'm like, oh. So that's really good.